Hey, boys and girls. It's time for Not Another Pucking Podcast, Comedians on Hockey, with your old pal Chris Roach, the sometimes less than personable Anthony DiDomenico, and the Count of Condescension, John Truson. And now,
let's talk hockey.
Yeah!
Yeah, baby.
Hey, someone's excited to be here.
I'm back. I'm excited. I missed you guys.
Did you really? We didn't
I
miss
missed you guys. Sorry about the late start, but
So sorry, everybody. I was on tour with Kevin James. I was like, Kevin, hey, look at my credit card bills. You want to do season 3? Come on, we out here.
that was we have a new character on the podcast, a new member. My head.
It's Chris Roach's head.
Chris Roach's giant head.
It's much funnier than the real Chris Roach.
My freakishly misshapen head will be.
He's going. He goes, what? He goes, why does it look like that? Why is my head like that? Why does it look like that?
I asked him if I could bring in a brown marker, at least color in some of the grays.
He said my hair looks fake because I got my hair plugs at the Dollar Tree. So that's
and again, this is my natural growing hair. It was the Neograph. They took it from the back and put it in my peaks, and I'm very pleased with the results.
That's funny. The things that you've worked on, like your teeth and your hair, are like the two least of your issues.
You know what?
Like, I would have worked on a million other things before that.
My wife wasn't happy that I got my teeth done because
your face looks like that?
Oh, no.
Anthony.
Why?
Let me finish
Why,
a
Anthony?
sentence. Thank you, John. Because when I talk, I'm not a very teethy person. So I'm like all concerned about my teeth. I spend this money on my
You're
teeth.
not teethy?
You don't see my teeth a lot when I talk. Do you
Toothy?
see my teeth over there?
Teethy?
No.
You see my teeth? Unless I go like this. Okay.
Is that how you do things?
Yes. So we're back.
We're back.
You guys did a great job while I was away, and then
Of
we
course.
had the
We're
Easter break.
professionals.
Hey, before we get going, because I never like to forget,
Yes.
Let's do it.
Not Another Pucking Podcast, Comedians on Hockey, is brought to you by Island Ice Hockey by MHL. From weekday to weekend, from novice to experience, from 16 years old to 60-plus years old, Island Ice Hockey has a team for everyone. Sign up at islandicehockey.com or call 631-262-0543 for more information. And as I have said 1,000 times before, it doesn't matter if you're old. I'm old. Roach is out of shape. We go out. We skate. Did you skate this week, Roach?
No.
Oh, man.
No,
You had a good groove going.
I have a good. I'm skating tonight with the at the Gold Coast Hockey Club.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
But, I did have a couple of auditions. Fingers crossed. That sometimes I got to put my career in front of my health. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense at all.
But both are failing. So I gotta figure which one's gonna die first. If I can career me, I don't know. I'll just keep it going. Either one. Yeah.
Which one's gonna die first? Why am I laughing at this?
That was a good one, Anthony.
Thank you, John.
Which one's gonna die first?
Well, I'm a little annoyed at Chris Roach.
Well,
Why?
first of all, could I just like to point out that when Roach does it, it doesn't sound as much like Roach as when
No.
Anthony does it?
Right.
I'm a little annoyed at Chris Roach.
Why is that,
Because I
Anthony?
got his business cards.
Oh, first of all, he got these business cards and whatever, and he's blaming us because he messed up all of it. And he goes,
I
"I
didn't
showed
mess
it to you." I'm like, "He showed it to me. I
I
wasn't
showed it to
paying
both you
attention."
guys, and you liked it, and then all of a sudden
Well,
I
it's
get
like most things you send to me. I don't really look at it that.
I didn't even know it
closely.
was a business card. I thought you were just working on some new artwork.
Yeah.
no, and then I get them printed up. And they're like, "Oh, you didn't put the Podbean website on."
Yeah.
it.
So where do you go to listen to the podcast?
It says here, watch us on Facebook Live every Sunday, and it's
Yeah.
available on iTunes, and it's got our email address, and also on the back, the Tovey Hockey Discount.
Are we on Facebook Live right now?
No.
So therefore, you're misleading.
Yeah, you'd
people.
have to go actually to Podbean to listen to it. So
Wait, so are we recording video or no?
yeah, we're recording.
Yes, we're recording video.
it, and we're going to try
We're
to
gonna-
find a
we're
way
gonna
to
put it up
Put
later.
it on afterwards?
Yeah.
All right.
What I'm saying is,
we
Roach.
had a little technical difficulties today.
So then, you got into it with us about it's our fault because you messed up the cards. You just pulled the trigger on it without letting anybody know.
No,
because this is like.
That's not true. I feel like you leave me alone to do
Yeah,
these things.
yeah,
and
yeah. Have you ever seen the movie?
it's called the Leave Alone Zap management technique.
have you ever seen-
I took a
Can I
management course,
speak?
and I know what you're doing.
Can
I know what you're doing,
Can I
goddammit.
speak?
I took a management course. It's called the Leave Alone Zap method, where you leave the person alone, wait for them to mess up, and then you zing them.
Are you gonna step all over everything I say today, or am I gonna be allowed to speak? I'll just go home now.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Have you ever seen the movie Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead?
I think I
So it's a scene where Christina Applegate and her family spend all the petty cash money.
Great movie.
So she then has to come up with creative ways to make it seem like she's using petty cash to finance his party. That's what these are. Roach has spent the podcast petty cash money on God knows what. Probably rescue dogs,
candy and gum,
hair plugs, and anything
It's not
else.
hair plugs. It's my actual growing hair.
Egg sandwiches.
Neograph. Dr.
Heroes.
Stephen Greenberg.
So now he comes up with these cards like, like this, I want to do this, a good idea. Now he tells us that he feels like he's alone in this podcast.
Sometimes
I've had
maybe not
many,
with Truson, but you.
Can I again? Am I going to be able to
let
speak?
Anthony finish?
Go ahead.
Please.
I had an idea. I thought it was a pretty good damn idea. We got some sponsor money. I said, let's go to an Islander game, a Sunday game during the afternoon.
Go to the tailgate.
We'll go to the tailgate. We'll set up a live podcast from the tailgate. We'll do a Facebook Live. We'll meet the fans. We'll talk to the fans. We'll talk to our demographic. And we'll get them excited about the podcast. Where it's like, maybe I'll pick one. But, what I really want to do is I want to get like a tablecloth with a logo on it.
Yeah, I thought if we're going to set up a table, they have these tablecloths you can make.
I need a tablecloth. Listen, the most important thing is not the podcast itself, but having a tablecloth with a logo on it. The logo that when I'm going to be changing. I'm going to get a designer and say, listen, what I want to do. I want a hockey mask and a comedy mask and get it.
Where the hell did you get this picture, by the way? It's like the worst. It's like the worst picture of me.
That's the greatest picture
It looks
of you ever.
It looks like somebody kicked open the door when I was on the toilet bowl constipated.
That's an actual
That's
picture.
your face.
That's an actual picture taken in the studio during our podcast.
Really?
Anthony
Yes.
took a picture of you in the during the podcast a couple of weeks ago.
So
You
then,
rat bastard.
besides Roach blaming us for everything that goes wrong with the podcast,
I do
even though
not blame you for everything.
I get a text message from him this week.
A nice-
He's like basically kicking me off the podcast.
I did not. And you know what? I just thought
He wasn't kicking you off the podcast.
I was not. I just feel like sometimes I wonder if you are coming here just to be nice. And I know
Have I done anything?
Well,
Since
you-
you've known me to be nice?
you have a very successful. Ugh.
Yeah.
See,
You have a
that's right here.
Oh, it's a horrible picture.
Yeah, that's you. I bet it's a horrible. That's you. That's your
have,
face.
You have a very successful Weight Watchers podcast, and
it's
I
not
thought
a Weight Watchers. It's
WW, bro.
WW.
It's a weight loss journey podcast.
It was a weight loss journey, and it's very successful.
And how's it going? How many downloads you got?
It's going
now?
very. I'm close to over 14,000. Yeah, it's
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
going very well.
We're close to 1,000 on here. So anyway, I just thought, let me at least offer the guy an out. Offer him an out, so he didn't feel so guilty.
Okay, so I-
It was almost like all right, before you break off with me, I'll
Break
offer
up.
I'll offer you an out, so you don't feel so
Roach,
guilty.
I've known you now for 9 years. Once in those 9 years have I ever not told you exactly how I felt at that moment? And if I didn't want to do something, did I not do it?
Well, you tell me you don't want to do it. That's what you always tell.
Joke around. If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't be here.
that's a little
Honestly,
bit-
if I didn't want to be on this podcast, I wouldn't be here.
Well,
I
a little
just-
bit truth and jokes, they say, right?
But
a little
now,
bit truth.
first of all, here's one thing that I know. Anthony is not going anywhere on this podcast as long as the Islanders remain
That
in
is
the
true.
playoffs.
That is true.
That I know.
Let me tell. All right, if you want to get into the playoffs now,
Yeah, but we get into some
Yeah.
hockey.
let's get into some hockey.
that for
Something
It is-
different for you, Roach. We'll talk
this-
about hockey on the hockey podcast.
This is the most amazing playoffs I've ever seen. All 4 number 1 seed teams out, and you have 8 teams, 5 of which are extremely hot. The Islanders, and you have I think the best 2 games are on the East Coast. The Islanders and Canes, which are 2 hot teams, and then you have the Boston Bruins going against Columbus, which is a very physical game.
Man, did you see the goal that Panarin scored last night?
No, I missed the ending.
He,
I missed
he
the...
took
Oh
a shot.
my God!
And,
Who won last night? Columbus won?
Columbus
In
won in
double
OT.
OT.
Okay,
Double
yeah,
OT.
I saw it was double OT, but I was driving.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the end of the game.
Panarin took a shot. It was one of those shots where he like roofed it in and out so fast they had to like look at it on
And
the
stop-
they had to
oh, my
watch
God.
it. But
Incredible.
he was like a couple of feet. He's a right-handed shot, couple of feet off the goal line. So it's like basically a really hard angle. Goalie was down. He had like maybe an inch to shoot at up top, and he drilled it. It was unbelievable.
So that series is tied 1-1. The Islanders, Islanders got to win today.
Yeah, they got to win. They got to win a home game.
Okay.
And already people I see are like complaining. That,
I hate Islander fans. I really do.
Yeah, because you
yeah,
know what?
how is that? They lose one game, and it was a great game
and
in overtime. 2 goalies, spectacular.
It's like they'd almost like to lose 6-0. I really think that they'd be more okay with losing 6-0. You know, here's a game. got to look at all. I look at everything. They're off for 10 days. They didn't play a hockey game in 10 days.
Could have gone either way.
Could have gone either way. They come out. They're playing a team that just won a tremendous series, so they're fired up. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
Now this team, and everybody's taking. See, the problem with Islander fans is they're taking Carolina for granted.
No, you can't in the playoffs.
Now this is a team that just beat the Stanley Cup champions in 7 games on their home ice. That's why I'm always like, who do you want to play? I'm like, I don't care who it is. You have to beat whoever's in front of you. You got to go through them.
And it's going to be war.
It's going to be war. It's a playoffs. It's a Stanley Cup playoffs. Every team is good. It's not like basketball where you're playing a team that's 500. You're playing a team that could. I mean, even in the East, any one of those teams could have been in first place.
You have a lot of great players left, but I think all the superstars, if I'm not mistaken, have got knocked out, like the Crosbys and the Ovechkins.
John Tavares.
They've all got knocked out. And you have
Go home, Johnny.
You have all these great players like a Panarin, a Teravainen, and all these great players that are left. Team players. Not to say that the other guys aren't, but
McKinnon's still in.
You got
superstar.
Well, I mean, hockey is a team sport. It's not a superstar sport. It really isn't.
And if anything, it's a goalie sport.
Yes.
Oh my
and
God.
there are some red hot goalies playing right now.
Last night I was listening to the overtime, and they said that both goalies had like highlight of the year saves.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Well, in the Islander game 1, Leonard was making saves on his head. I mean, everybody, even Carolina's goalie was, and the goal that won went off of Leonard's skate. I mean, another inch,
He almost had it.
and he makes that save.
Yep.
Do you know? I'm sorry, cut you off.
Again, that's all right.
I was going to say something about Leonard.
Yeah,
like I remember
say it.
when the Rangers went to the finals a few years back. It was an incredible story of Saint Louis and his mother passing. I didn't know about Leonard's story. He what's
He
the
had
story?
issues.
Yeah, he had some issues that
And
he
then
took care of and came back.
They took a risk.
They
on
took
it.
a big. Well, that was the story going into the season.
He was known as a guy who had tremendous skill, but was a head case.
Good for him.
head case. He had substance abuse problems, I think.
And to come back like that, I mean, I know they have a comeback player of the year award. I hope he gets it because,
And he's also up for the Vezina Trophy.
regardless of what happens to the Islander season, Islander fans should be proud. But
I'm very proud.
It's not over yet. I'm just saying that I saw a lot of Islander fans complaining, like, "Oh, I
Well,
wish
that's
it
what
was
they
at-
do.
was
They
at the
complain.
Coliseum."
No.
Which I wish it was at the Coliseum too. It was maybe
It's sentimental, I do, but like Matt Martin said, he goes, it doesn't matter what building we're playing in, it's playoffs.
Yes, it's the playoffs. You
Yeah.
got to win in every building. And the issue there, Barclays Center, the ice is bad.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bouncing pucks and nonsense.
Well, that's what happened. The bounce,
And you don't like
bounce
to
off the-
see a game hinge on crappy ice.
yeah.
You know,
No, but
that's where it's an issue.
They beat, when they went to the second round last time, they played at Barclays Center. So I mean, we getting spoiled with the Coliseum. Everybody loves the Coliseum. I love the Coliseum. And it wasn't even supposed to be the first round at the Coliseum, but the NHL let it happen. But there's things booked at the Coliseum, so they can't physically play there. There's other events coming into the Coliseum, so they can't move those. But again, like you should be able to play in a parking lot on a sheet of ice if it's playoffs.
That's true.
I mean, it doesn't matter what building you're playing in. And I mean, as an Islander fan, I really can't stand most Islander fans because they whine, they complain, and to really say, "Oh, it's the Barclays Center," it's not. It's the Barclays Center. You went red hot goalies and a goal slipped by. That's how you lost. We played a great game. We did get hosed, I think, a little bit on the interference. We should have won that game 1-0 in regulation, but.
But you also had some breakaways that guys didn't score. You had opportunities.
Bailey had a big breakaway that puck was going in that every time.
Yeah.
You come up across a hot goalie. You come up, and this team just beat Washington. Seriously.
Yep.
What are you complaining? It was one game. You're not going to sweep everybody.
So what the Islanders have to do is come out today and just establish it. They just have to immediately, this is our house.
Yeah.
Play physical right out of the box. I like that they started like the Clutterbuck and Martin. That they started the fourth line.
They start the fourth line a lot in games, even in the regular season.
That establishes a physicality
and they came out. If they play every game like they played game one, I'd be more than confident they can win the series.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't play a bad game.
No, you didn't lose a bit. You're going to lose games in the playoffs. It's going to happen. You're playing really good hockey teams.
Yep.
You're not going to sweep every round. It's not going to happen.
Everybody calm down.
Okay, right now, this moment.
Yeah.
Betting odds, for those of you who bet. The favorite to win the Stanley Cup right now, what do you think, Chris Hirsch?
I'm going with Boston.
What do you think?
I thought Boston's the favorite to win, and then I think San Jose, then the Islanders.
Well, it actually changes almost day to day because, if you go up one game, nothing, 0-1. Right now, the favorite is the San Jose Sharks.
Really?
Followed by the Boston Bruins. followed by the St. Louis Blues, followed by the Carolina Hurricanes, followed by the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Stars, the Islanders, and the Avalanche. And the reason the Islanders are so low is because now they're 0-1. And the other team went 1-0. Had it been reversed, it'd been that's how the betting works. Really.
Yeah, they're all one, but
Yeah.
Anthony does make a good point. They were off. When you sweep a team and you have to wait that long to play,
Mm-hmm.
you do get a tiny. From what I hear, you do get a tiny bit rusty, and the game one is almost like.
And to prepare for that, that's why Roach waits 4 weeks.
You're used to
between
playing
each skating.
once and then not skating again for
that's why
7 weeks.
you got to take time off between games to get used to that. And I think I would have been good.
Hey, listen, as a highly trained athlete like myself, listen, you get out there, you hardly move on the ice, you don't bend, you skate for 3 minutes, you rest for 7, and then and then you take 10 days off. That's how you condition the athlete's body.
Very good, Head.
Hey, now I have a question. Whose head is bigger, Roach head or Roach's head?
Chris Roach's head is bigger than Roach's head.
It's not the same size.
It's not even a question. Hey, look at you.
Speaking of getting hosed,
It's amazing that cardboard cutout's better looking than the real thing.
I asked him if I could bring in a brown magic marker in and color in some of that gray because I have just for men in today.
By the way, I was watching a little bit of the Dallas Stars series there, and I was rooting for our boy Zook. He's looking good. A couple of nice assists.
Oh,
he's looking good.
now wait a second. Now if they win this round, I think the Rangers.
The Rangers don't win anything.
Whenever they say conditional,
it can be how deep the guys go in the playoffs.
yeah, and I think if they win this round, Dallas, that the Rangers get the Stars' first round pick.
Could be.
I never understood that conditional pick until I read that.
Yep.
But you were talking about the Islanders getting hosed on that call. The NHL has officially apologized to the Vegas Knights
Why? For a bad call?
for a bad call that cost them the series. Now,
I hate when they do that.
yeah, now
I don't understand why they do that stuff in sports.
what turned out to be what looked like it was a vicious hit turned out to be the player slipped and hit the back of his head. So it should have been either a 2-minute penalty or no penalty at
Should have
all.
been no penalty. If a guy slips, he slips.
Now Vegas was winning 3-0 with 10 minutes remaining in
what
the
a game
game.
that
oh,
was.
man.
10 minutes remaining in the game, and they had to defend a 5-on, a 5-minute major power play. And what do you call it? The Sharks scored 4 freaking goals. 4 goals in like 4 minutes and 1 second. That's crazy. Even if if your team's all right, a 5-minute major, you're like, all right, at least if we give up 1, that's not so bad. They give up 4 goals on home ice, and also when the what do you call it? When the Capitals lost Game 7, you know what the odds were? They said the odds of them winning that game, the Game 7, was a 74% chance they were going to win that game, and they lost it, and they lost it against a hot team. Yeah, so that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I just don't understand why teams need to know that it was a bad call after the fact. I don't understand why they need to do that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to know because you're going to look at the tape anyway. Like, everybody knows, wow, nobody touched that guy.
But
Right.
don't you think it adds insult to injury to hear that, oh, we really screwed up? Like, great. All right, that's awesome. Now I'm sitting at home.
Yeah, I
NFL
know.
did that too with
Like,
the Saints.
what's the point?
Yeah, that's a tough-
Exactly. They did the same exact thing with the Saints. What's the point in hearing it? I'd rather just not hear it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man, and it's nice to hear you chime in.
Do you know what?
Stieglitz.
You know what bothers me more than that is that I see 2 Game of Thrones shirts in here today. That's what bothers me more than
Look.
anything.
Today's going to be a very, very, very rough day, all right?
There
It's
you
going to
go.
be a very rough day. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to die today.
There you go.
Whoa. It's been like
And
every
what?
every episode of the season is like a movie.
So wait, you
know?
have the House of Stark.
Yeah.
right?
He does too.
I actually have a over there. I got a Casterly
The
Rock
John
hockey
Starks,
jersey.
the House of John Starks.
Do you know
House
what?
of
I gotta
John
say it. I
Starks.
was very.
2 for 18 in Game 7.
Actually, winter is coming. Is the
Is
The
it
words of House
these
Stark.
words of House Stark.
Yeah.
But isn't it been coming for like 7 seasons or whatever?
It just
It's
came
coming-
last season.
It's coming now. It's coming. It's coming to Winterfell tonight.
Did you guys? Okay, last week's Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't listen for if there's going to be a sport. If you haven't watched last week's, but I'm watching last week's episode with
Yes.
my wife.
Yes.
And the youngest girl, is it Alia? What's her name? Arya.
Arya.
Arya. All of a sudden, now if you would have asked me how old she was, I would have told you 15. And all of a sudden, she starts taking the clothes off. I'm like, whoa,
She's
whoa,
supposed-
whoa! What's going on?
She's supposed to be on the show
15.
18. No, she's
18?
not. No, she kept 15. It's 7 seasons deep.
Okay, I didn't know. So all of a sudden, she's taking the clothes. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? She's a kid. And I
Very
Googled.
weird.
I quickly before I felt like I was going to go to hell for looking at it, I Googled it, and she's actually 22 years
You
old.
know, look at how old are you? I should be jerking off to this, but I am. He's a teenager. Hold on, let me Google it really quick to make sure I'm not doing anything illegal here. Oh, she's 22. That's okay. I can give you a
Oh man.
I didn't say. I'm like looking at a
way to skate around that hole. That's the best skating
what you were actually trying to
It's
do there.
like,
I'm like, is this legal? Should
It's the most
I had to
skating roaches
Google
ever
it, yeah.
done.
should I be doing this? Is it legal?
You weren't the only person
I
that
knew
had
exactly
that same
what
you were
idea.
getting
There was a
at.
lot of people
You
that
wanna
were
know
looking
I
it
felt
up.
very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You want to know something?
Yeah,
They
okay.
actually, it was on the news this week. There was a huge spike on the Google search of Maisie Williams' age at like 9:30 last night.
And I was one of the people. I'm like, whoa! 'cause
Yep.
Listen, I got 4 nieces, all right? And I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
She's supposed to be legal on the show.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. Maybe we should do around
And she's
the world.
gonna die. Like, you know, she's in a situation where she could die the next day. Guess what?
Did you just say she's going to die? Do you know something?
No.
He's just speaking.
But the
yeah.
reason that the whole last episode was like how people behave when there's a really good shot. You're going to be dead tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like a huge
Yeah.
battle's about to happen,
Yeah.
and it's everyone's last day.
Yep. So what do you got going?
Get off. Don't touch. I have around the world in hockey.
Don't
You
touch.
have around
Exactly.
you have around the world in hockey.
Let's do it.
And now it's Chris Roach and around the world in hockey.
You know, what's going on? It's Chris Roach. You know, we got hockey and the world, and we're gonna go around it. You know, say the rescue dogs.
Yes. All right. First of all, this segment of Around the World in Hockey has been brought to you by Core Smiles. Core Smiles Dentistry, where our aim is to educate our patients in a safe space while offering them care and treatment they deserve. Many people have anxiety and are nervous about dental visits. Our office is an environment of relaxation, and your experience at the dentist has been, it will never be like I totally mess this up. Relaxation and your experience at the dentist has never been the same. You will, believe me, I went and I have anxiety. I take medication for anxiety. They're fantastic. 212-221-0044. Okay, now, around the world in hockey.
What's happening around the world in hockey?
Let's go
Actually,
to-
the World Championships are taking place.
Yes, let's go to the KHL, which oh my God, I wish it was televised here. The KHL, we have a winner in the Gagarin Cup, which is their Stanley Cup. The winning team featured Ilya Sorokin.
Islanders prospect.
He also got the MVP of the game, and he plays on team, what do you call it? What are faces? You know, Gagarin Cup, the guy,
Why didn't you highlight it?
I didn't highlight it.
Way
You
to
know,
be prepared.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
You got these dumb cards though.
The winner, it's the here it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Here it is. They beat the Avant-Garde Omsk, which is a team that's actually Jaromir Jagr's home team.
It's a team, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll just keep the babbling, you know, because it's fun, you know. We got to fill this segment somehow, you know. I don't like it real news. Just, you know.
Quiet down, Ed.
KHL, you know, I like it.
CSKA Moscow.
It's called the Umsk. You know, I
it's
say
the-
the same thing every week. You know, I was blank.
The first team to ever sweep the series in the Gagarin Cup. That's the KHL. Moving back
Yes.
to the
Where-
continent of America, North America. Angry United States hockey fans watching Sunday's playoff game between the NHL Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs were treated to the back of one spectator's head when he stood in front of the television camera during the final moments of a frantic third period. The Maple Leafs fan, identified only as Scott to protect him from threats online, opened his phone after watching his team lose 4-2 in Game 6 at Toronto's Scotiabank Arena and noticed something wasn't right. I looked at my Instagram and I noticed I was at the top of my feed. You got something to say, Head?
Well, you know, listen, I sympathize with somebody with that. You know, the head. Listen, I go to games all the time, and I block the whole thing, and I'm sitting down. But you know, big headedness is a real thing, and you know, I don't want anybody. You know, it's a syndrome, and it's big, and that's a head, and it's. I blame forceps, but maybe it's just my emptiness and the air going through, and it blows it up, and all the calories that I eat just go right to my head. You go, my head up, there's a bunch of ring dings and Twinkies and other things, and I like to block hockey games myself.
All right, back to me, Head. Upset Bruin fans, including actor Rob Lowe, took to Twitter to complain about the obstructive view.
Not Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe tweeted, watching the Boston-Toronto game, and literally all I can see is the back of somebody's head. NBC needs to get their act together now.
That's not the fault of the guy. That's the fault of the director.
NBC.
Switch to a different camera. You don't just have one camera shooting a hockey game. You have different angles.
That's like, I know there's like somebody, when I was on Kevin's show, there's actually a guy who has a board in front of him, a little board in front of the live performance, and he switches back and forth between cameras. I think it's called camera switcher, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
That's his job. So whoever was the camera switcher,
someone wasn't doing their job.
Well, no, the director calls the switches usually.
Somebody
as the director
Somebody
going,
was watching the hockey
going like
game.
ready to take two, that kind of stuff. Like they're usually calling it.
Somebody got fired. Anyway, and finally, Alex Ovechkin was sent a message.
What day was that game where the guy's head was in the way? Was that Sunday?
Yes, I think so.
Maybe the guy was Googling Arya Stark's age and he wasn't paying attention to actually
could
what
be.
the camera angle.
That happens. I did this one too. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm blocking everybody. I'm having a good time.
And
Roach, just to sort of like backtrack a little bit. Do you have problems with your head blocking people at games?
Oh my
Absolutely.
God,
All the time.
I have always been, even since a young kid, I've always been self-conscious, especially with the movie theaters. Like before stadium seating, I was so self-conscious because I would sit down in the movie theater and right away from behind me.
And I don't know if they were upset because I was blocking the head or they see my comedy, but either way they were annoyed that I was there.
I remember going. I was at the Westbury Music Fair and I was seeing Weird Al Yankovic, and some kid was behind me, was literally crying. Mommy, I can't see. And she had to switch seats with him. Shut up, kid. All right, let me finish this up here.
You just admitted that you went to see Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, he's awesome. Great entertainer.
I like when he does the Michael Jackson parodies. Can I sing along with him? It's a lot of fun.
Ron Kokomo.
Ron Kokomo was inspired by Weird Al. But only that Weird Al's is funny and better.
All over the walls.
And finally,
It was very successful. Mine wasn't. Yeah.
if you guys watched the Ovechkin when the Hurricanes played the Capitals, Ovechkin got into a fight with upcoming player Andrei Svechnikov of the Carolina Hurricanes, knocked him out, and after that it was like a brutal hit too. It was tough to watch, and he still hasn't been back on the ice yet. So Ovechkin received a threat from Andrei's brother Evgeny. Evgeny put on a Freddy Krueger costume and threatened because I don't know why they said this, but the older Svechnikov was born on Halloween, whatever that has to do with anything, and he actually said on Instagram, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, 3, 4, I'm gonna kill your friggin' horse. And
I'm surprised you can count that high.
thank you. Yeah, so that's it. Also, Svechnikov, the older Svechnikov, is a winger for the Detroit Red Wings who missed the entire season last year with a knee injury, but he did dress up in a Freddy Krueger outfit to threaten Alexander Ovechkin. And that is.
And now it's
I
Chris
think
Roach and Around the World in Hockey.
Thank you.
Oh, is that ever going to end? Oh, my God.
Maybe you didn't butt in so much.
I was trying to make it entertaining.
Oh, God.
So the Islanders are actually playing. We're going to wrap early because we want to watch the Islanders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
Islanders are playing at 3 o'clock. And
They won't face off till about 10 after.
No, so I'm going to get home by that time.
And actually, it's NBC, which means they're not going to start till a quarter
Yeah.
after. NBC
And-
always starts way late.
I got to leave by, 6 o'clock for McGuire's tonight, so it's hopefully get everything done before then.
Hey, you were talking about the cards and the little Tovey plug.
Yeah.
You want to read a Tovey? You want to do the Tovey read, or should I do it?
Yeah, you do it with your velvety tone.
You want me to do it with my Tovey read?
Yeah, somebody that actually complete sentences.
Our friends. Wow. Wow.
I told
Came
you it
out
was
swinging today.
Ooh.
I told you it was going to be like that.
Man. And they thought Game of Thrones was going to be violent. Boy.
You heard me warn him before
You
the pod.
did.
Okay.
You did.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says Anthony is coming.
Yeah.
There you go. Tovey Hockey has designed, tested, and developed a revolutionary new carbon composite hockey stick that will change the way you play the game of hockey forever. This patented outside-the-box approach to blade design with its perforated cross-beam construction significantly increases swing speed. Built using 100% carbon fiber, we have eliminated the flimsy foam core for enhanced durability and a larger sweet spot. This incredible hockey stick yields the most amazing feel of the puck and puck control ever seen in the game of hockey, guaranteed. For information, go to tobysports.com, and if you use the code PUCKNUCKLE, for our friends out there in our listening audience, you receive 20% off your stick purchase. And I have 2 of these sticks. I have both the Sabotage and the Mirage, and I love them.
Good sticks, good company, good people.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I probably will be seeing from Toby Hockey, Mr. John Moseson tonight at the Gold Coast Hockey Club.
There you go.
Rumor, little rumor.
Now, are you to the point where you can actually play in a game and not like be ridiculous?
Do you know what? It's getting there. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more confident. It's happening little by little.
Yeah, by the time you're 60, you should be on the
We'll
ice.
see. But I heard
What'd you hear?
a little rumor.
Yes, who's
that
playing?
a couple players, one a former Islander goalie.
Okay.
What's his name?
Which one? DiPietro?
There's a lot of from Islander goalies. There's DiPietro.
Rick
there's-
DiPietro
Rick DiPietro.
will be a member of the Gold Coast Hockey Club.
Nice. Okay.
Tonight?
I don't
Usually
think
he's
tonight.
working. He works for the network, so I don't think.
No, I
he'll
don't
be-
think. I don't think he'll be there tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he was supposed to come down, but couldn't last week. But
Mm-hmm.
we shall see.
Nice.
The top secret Gold Coast Hockey Club
Which you blab about every week.
Yeah, I
at
mean,
the Eisenhower Park facility, which is where the Islanders practice.
I'm going to come down and scout Roach one of these weeks.
oh please,
I'm going to scout him.
I'm gonna do that too.
Scout.
I'm gonna do that one
Yeah.
Sunday.
We're going to come down. We're going to bring a video camera. We're going to take some Roach shots.
I've been doing wrist curls because my wrists are very weak.
You have weak risks?
I have weak wrists.
Weak
Yeah.
wrists?
I don't think you do anything.
What do you mean?
I don't really see you like training for anything.
I
I think you don't do anything, and then like once a month you get on the ice.
He's eating Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, the once a month you get on the
Yeah, I
ice.
had it yesterday.
You skate for like 3 minutes, and then like you hurt every part of your body, and you don't do anything for another month again.
I skate 3 minutes. I take a few minutes and I go back out.
But then like everything hurts you, and you're done after that.
That's all right. I'll skate today. I'll skate Tuesday night,
I don't believe any of this.
and then I'm on the road again Wednesday.
Okay.
Where you going?
On the road again, Jersey. I'm in Jersey on Wednesday.
Just
so-
can't
some
wait
gig,
to
and
get
then
on the road again.
going to meet KJ in Pittsburgh again on Thursday.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I'll probably stay in some hotel, and I got a gig in Jersey on the way back. So
Nice.
Jersey, Pittsburgh, Jersey,
You have a gig on the way back?
You're a
Pennsylvania.
fancy young man.
Yes.
Where?
So how about some of these? Now, do we?
Oh wait. Good.
Are we even going to comment on these other series? Come on, we got
Okay,
we got
we'll
other
talk about the
series
other
going on.
series. Not for me though. There's only one
Wait,
series.
before we talk about the series, because
Yes.
this is hockey and comedy.
Yes.
Last night I got a call last night, like at 8:00, 8:07. It was the worst thing. 8:07 p.m. The worst thing a comedian wants to hear when he's at a gig. You get a call from another booker, and they go, "Where are you?" I was like, "What?"
Where were you supposed to be?
I was in North Jersey at a show, and Johnny Lampert calls me. Where are you, bro? You're supposed to be at this gig down here. It was like the worst feeling as a comedian. I was like, don't do this to me, bro. Tell me you're kidding. And it was just it was a complete miscommunication.
On your end?
Kind of, yeah. But I think the guy, and this happened to me before. Sometimes people, they let me get back to you. They're going to book you, and they never get back to you. And then they put it in their calendar as a booking, and I never put it in my calendar. But still, even still, it was like, he sent me like an email early in the week, and I confirmed it, thinking that it was the other gig. I messed up.
Oh, no, wait.
now
If
the
you
truth comes
confirmed
out.
it.
Yeah, it was.
no.
I was like totally my fault. Totally
Uh-oh.
my fault.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
You know, it's kind of like when I set the cards out. You guys looked at it, and, and I did it anyway. And I blamed you for it. But, I'm trying to find a way out of this. I got an email. I didn't read it, and then I said, okay, because I'll pay this eventually. I'm going to pick me up. I don't know. But then can you still pay me for it? I like the money, and I got the hair plugs redone, and I got the teeth going, and everything else is just going to shit.
Now, when the email came in that you didn't read thoroughly, by any chance were you watching Game of Thrones, Arya Stark, and wondering about her age?
Probably. He's
No.
Googling the age.
Then I had to go to church after that. That was oh my god. Because I really thought she was a 15-year-old girl, and then all of a sudden she's like takes a top. I'm like, what's going on here?
Like 15 in real life or 15 in the show?
In real life,
No,
she's
no.
22.
She's in her
22.
20s, yeah.
Yeah.
She's 22.
And she's supposed to be 18 on the show.
God.
She looks like a child, though. She
Anyway.
looks very young.
Talking about the other series, okay, so Vegas is out. The Golden Knights are out.
Well, you got Colorado and San Jose.
That's
San
a-
Jose is up 1-0, but Colorado is tough, man. So that can go either way. All these series could go either way.
Yeah, it's 8 teams remaining, and it's just like It's just the way the things are unfolding. Anybody can win it. I mean, they always say before the playoffs start, anybody can win it. It's a brand new season, but you have favorites.
And the favorites all went out in the first round.
All the favorites out in the first round.
We said that Tampa Bay was going to go out in the first round.
And people scoffed at us.
Yeah. That was one of the teams I thought were definitely going out in the first round.
But not swept. And I think that's an NHL record. No team has ever won the President's Trophy and been swept in the first round. That's a new stat.
They had one of the best records in the league.
They had one of the best records in the history of hockey.
History of the game. I think they tied the best record.
Wow, they got swept.
Yep, and they got destroyed in the first round.
Wow.
Swept. Somebody's got to hang for that. Somebody's got to hang for that.
I'm liking the Bruins versus Tortorella series. That's a beautiful thing.
That right there should be a Stanley Cup series. That is an incredible series with incredible players, incredible goaltending.
It's 1-1 right now, and it's great goalies. It's unbelievable.
Here's the thing about
Bobrovsky and Tukarask.
Forget it. The goaltending alone. Did Tukarask ever win a Vezina? Because I know Bobrovsky did.
Probably.
It's just an incredible series.
He's been like a top 5 goalie.
And Chara, who's 42 years old, I got to, you don't stay in the NHL over 40 unless you adapt as your playing style changes. Maybe he's not as fast, but I feel Chara is having like his most physical year yet.
Chara's a monster in front of the net. He's got a great shot at the point. He's a monster in front of the net. He's got things that he does. He's not your race from end to end defenseman. Right. He's not going to move the puck up.
I don't ever remember seeing him fight much. He beat the crap out of 2 people this
year.
He's
fought. I've seen him fight a number of times.
Every time you see an NHL highlight, he's laying people out. It's like the guy. I forgot who he hit last night, but the guy left the rink.
How big is he? Is he like
6'8"? He's 6'8" off skates. I'm 6'6".
On skates, he's like almost 7 foot.
So he's 2 inches taller than me. Plus he's athletic. He's got muscles in his leg, unlike my chicken legs.
Plus he's in shape.
He's in shape.
Like you. He's the opposite of you, basically, is what he is.
And his head's a little small for his body, I think.
Yeah, opposite. Everything opposite of you.
His head's a little small.
His head's normal size.
Like you're small. You're like that.
No, my head's normal size.
Who's that new RT2 guy? What's his name?
BB-8.
Yeah, that's you.
All right, now.
Yes!
Oh.
Woo!
Shaped like BB-8.
Oh, Lord. You men are goofballs.
If you're listening at home, this comes from a place of love.
That is actually pretty funny.
It comes from a place of love.
I'm shaped like BB-8.
He's tweeting it.
Oh,
I was going to pull a picture of BB-8.
Yes, so everybody can see.
Oh, man.
If anybody doesn't know Star Wars, I'll show you what BB-8 looks like.
Oh, Star Wars. And I know I hit close to home because I know Anthony loves Star Wars.
Oh, Anthony's Star Wars head.
I do like.
Anthony loves the Islanders, the Yankees, Star Wars,
that's
and
BB-8.
That's Anthony. Show John Truson.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Put a little Islander hat on there.
Oh, yeah, put on there. Oh, you know I'm working on it. You know what's happening.
All right, so we're going to now, Chris Roach, who are you picking in the Islander Carolina series?
Oh, this is a tough one, man. I think boy. Now my son is a huge Carolina fan, so I got to go Carolina in 6.
I'm going full in with the Islanders. I think the Islanders are going to come back tonight, and I think they're going to maybe 5-6. I don't think it's going 7.
If the Islanders win by more than 2 goals tonight, I feel like then that's a statement. The Islanders need to make a statement.
Chris Roach has been wrong about everything else this season. I'm going to say the Islanders in 5 or 6 as well.
Okay, there you go.
They got to make a statement tonight, though.
I think they will. They're going to come out.
Yeah, I think they're going to make a statement in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Plus, any of these teams that are remaining, like Carolina, the Islanders, they're not out until it's over, man. They're not out, so
there you go.
Hang in there, Islander
There's
fans.
words of wisdom from Chris Roach.
Thank you. Hang in there, Islander fans, and get to the Barclays Center and represent.
What about the St. Louis Blues and the Dallas Stars? Currently 1-1. What do you think?
Oof, I'm going to go with St. Louis there.
Okay.
I'm saying St. Louis in 6.
Are you?
St. Louis.
I am going with the Dallas Stars because I love Matt Zuccarello.
I'll always go against Roach, so I'll say Dallas.
There you go.
I hope you're right because
right.
I do want that draft pick.
All right. How about San Jose and Colorado?
Colorado.
San Jose.
Colorado in 7.
I'm going San Jose in that one. I think San Jose is going to wear them down.
5.
Boston, Columbus?
Oof. This is a tough one, man. I think that's going to go to a game 6.
Boston 7.
Boston 6.
I'm going with Columbus. I'm going with Torts.
Okay.
I love Torts. I love Torts. He's an
He's
honest.
sucked from head to toe, and we need to move by it.
This is just, again, it's just an incredible playoff
Oh man,
series. Season.
absolutely awesome. We got some awesome playoffs. I think that we're gonna wrap early so we can watch the Islanders.
We're going to wrap early.
So
right
too,
now.
I mean,
Yes.
Don't forget, if you're listening, we also are available on iTunes, and you could, if you have any comments, please contact us at comediansonhockey@gmail.com.
because Roche just explained how good he is with the email. So yeah.
And hopefully next week we'll be back on the Facebook Live. We had a little issue this
Hopefully.
week, so we couldn't go live
Yeah.
on Facebook Live. We're going to try and get it up later.
Yes, so back off us.
What do you think, Chris Roach's head?
I think it's a good idea. Live. I like being on the live. Because people call in, answer the questions right away. And listen, email me because I know me email. I get an email. I don't look at it, but I'll answer it. I'll invite you on the podcast and you can come on and I'll talk to you about nothing. Around the world of hockey. It's not really around the world, just down the block.
Down the block. This is a horrible picture of me.
That's your face. That's what you look like. That's you.
I think that's a scar.
That's a beautiful
See
picture.
that right there? I got kicked in the mouth.
All right.
Protective center. I got kicked in the mouth.
I'm John Truson.
Chris Roach.
Anthony Domenico.
And in the booth, Stiglitz.
Frank Stiglitz in the booth.
Frank
Thanks, Frank.
Enjoy Game of Thrones.
Space.
All right.
What's worse, Game of Thrones or this song? Oh,
Rich Haven.
pray all the pray. Worst song ever. It's Chris Roach wrote it and plays guitar.